Okay, we're back again, and we're talking to Mark Kapner, that energy guy, to discuss a typical bill from a church or a synagogue, a house of worship. And Mark is going to describe to us the different items on that bill and the costs that pertain to those components, all the way down to a summary of current charges. And what we want to do is go over a typical bill. So this is Mark Kapner, that energy guy, and we're here at his desktop to show us a bill. Go ahead, Mr. Kapner, sir.
Okay, thank you. So this is the bill of a church. It's a large church. It's a church which has a solar electric power system on it. But the elements of the bill that apply here are elements which you'll see on your electric bill. This is the bill that would apply to basically any commercial building or church of size. First of all, there are three numbers which come from Austin Energy's meter that are used to figure out how much the bill is. Even though there are a dozen lines on the bill is really much simpler than it appears. The three numbers that are metered are: number one, the total electric consumption. Here it's called total service consumption in kilowatt hours. And here for the church it was 93,900. The second number occurs just below that. If you've got a solar system, they will show it as total generation in kilowatt hours. That's the total solar generation. In the church's case, it's 6,900 kilowatt hours. The third number, you've got to look at your bill itself, and you'll see a number followed by the letters KW. KW stands for kilowatts, and here you will see the number that appears just before that is 210. That is, 210 is the metered peak demand of the building over the course of the month. And we've talked about what peak demand is in the previous session, but the important thing here is you will see that number 210 appear three times. Once under the title Electric Delivery, there it's 210 at $4.50 per kW, and it gives you the product over here, $945. So, as I said, that number 210 appears three times. Each time it appears, it's on a different line, and it's multiplied times a different price. So the first line was 210 at $4.50. That's called electric delivery. The second time it appears is as demand charge, 210 kilowatts at $4.19. That's the second component. And the third component, you've got to go down a couple to regulatory charges. Once again, the product of 210, and this time at $3.74 per kilowatt. Those three components, the electric delivery, the demand, and the regulatory, all use that 210, and each one is multiplied, each time it's multiplied by a different number. So those three numbers all together are the demand or the peak demand component of the electric bill. Now, this electric bill has three components. One is the peak demand component. The second one is the energy component. And for that, we look at where this 9,600 kilowatt hours, or I'm sorry, 9,300, 900 kilowatt hours, what's that multiplied by? And we look down the bill and we see an energy charge of 93,900 kilowatt hours. Energy charge, the price is 2.42 cents. We get this number here, this $2,273 number. And there's a second component of the energy supply, or the energy charge, which is called the power supply adjustment. In this case, that's multiplied times a lower number than the 9,300, because this church is on an electric rate which only charges this energy, this power supply adjustment is only applied to a portion of the kilowatt hours. On most bills, this number, which is here, 45,350, would be the same as the energy charge, 93,900. So there we've got a demand component, which has three components itself, and we have an energy component, which is two components, called the energy charge and the power supply adjustment charge. And those all are used. You can see these lines all add up together, and they ended up with a summary of current charges of $7,497.91. Now, the third number you see on the bill is called total generation in kilowatt hours. If you have a solar power system, that number will appear. In the case of this church, it's 6,900 kilowatt hours. And that itself is multiplied times two different charges, which obviously add together. There's the value of solar charge, which is, and this is important, it's a negative, because this is going to be a credit on your electric bill. So that's the product of 6,900 kilowatt hours and a negative 6.7 cents per kilowatt hour, giving us a negative, or a credit, of 462.30. And finally, the solar PBI, that stands for production-based incentive. At the time that this church installed its solar system, about 7 years ago, that production-based incentive was 14 cents. It's always shown as a negative because it's a credit. Currently, it's not 14 cents anymore. Now it's 5 cents. But in any case, that is multiplied times the solar generation, the 6,900, giving you here a credit of an additional $966. So those two credit lines are subtracted from the summary of current charges, arriving at the final number, which is what you pay, $6,069.61. And that is the story of this electric bill for that month. And that's the starting point for figuring out how much energy you can save and what you can do to save energy.
Okay, we have looked at a bill that from Mark Kapner, that energy guy, to describe to us how savings on using solar power works compared to just using the grid. If you would like a free analysis of your energy bill, please subscribe and leave an email address and a phone number for Kapner Solar Energy to analyze your bill and to show you a way to save using solar energy. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.